We are live. We are direct. She leads. She sells with Marsha Guptill, who is a wellness coach who specializes in helping people who have diabetes and other conditions to achieve a vibrant health and long-lasting weight loss through mindful, sustainable habits. She realized while she was in corporate America that she had to follow her passion and dedicate herself to helping others to make lifestyle choices. With a mixture of helping people to lose weight through mindset, movement, and nutrition. If you need the help, Marsha will guide you with her one-to-one digital programs and practical tools that she uses to help clients to get physically, mentally, and emotionally aligned with love-centered, personalized programs. Welcome all the way from Florida, Cape Coral, Marsha.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jay. It's so great to be here. I appreciate you taking the time.
Amazing, amazing. Tell me, who do you serve and
Yeah.
why do you serve them?
I serve people that are ready to manifest externally the internal. So I will work with anyone that is interested in that. I oftentimes find that is women, oftentimes perimenopausal, menopausal women that are really struggling with where they are on the external. And when we come together, we find that we're working less on the external and we're working more on the internal together. And that then makes the changes that they'd love to see happen.
That makes perfect sense. Tell me, how are you connecting with these people? Because we know visibility is queen.
Yes.
And like, what do they say? The average coach that's visible will always beat the excellent coach who isn't visible at all. So how do you help in the area of visibility?
Yeah. So, I mean, I do my best to be out on social media and such, but I also look to do public speaking. I've done some talks and such. I've also written a book
Oh, wow.
that's available on Amazon. And so, I kind of work a lot of different avenues. I also work with doctors as well, where I work with individuals who have some sort of a diagnosis oftentimes. They don't have to in order to work with me, but oftentimes it is people who have recently received a diabetes diagnosis or they're pre-diabetes, or they have a heart disease or are inclined, are headed in that direction and want to turn that around. And so I do work with several different doctors for them to be an option if people are looking for something more holistic. They like to try to stay away from the drugs that are oftentimes prescribed for those conditions, and they want to try something a little bit more holistic. I work with them as well.
Okay, that makes sense. Tell me, like, what does sales mean to you? Because, I've checked out your website and, things like this. Ultimately, experts, leaders can only stay in business if they're being paid. They have
Yes.
to close deals, they have to enroll. So
Yes.
speak to me about your process to enroll.
Yeah, so really it's about the proper connection, right? When I meet someone, it's really critical that we both feel the right energy together. Because I can't coach someone who doesn't trust me, and so we really need to build that level of trust, and that starts right from the beginning. I'm here to serve. I'm not here to push my ideas onto someone else. I'm here to help people uncover what it is that they know deep inside them is just waiting to come out. And so we make that connection during a consultation. I meet one on one initially with every client. There is no, I don't do like mass things. I'm more of an interpersonal individual, and I really like that one on one engagement. And it's just critical that we have that opportunity to talk one on one and make that connection, because that is ultimately what ends up helping people feel comfortable to then make a purchase, right? So, they're purchasing your services, and they've got to have that connection. If they don't have that and they feel like you're just trying to sell something to them, they're going to walk away.
Well said.
Thank you.
Yeah, well said. I know that over the weekend, actually, I've really leaned into the fact that I believe sales comes down to the energetic state of the
Mm,
prospect. If they are in fear, then they're most likely not gonna buy, right? And
that's
so,
right.
yeah, if they're in the spirit of willingness,
Mhm.
then they're gonna be willing to hear you out. But I really think that people buy when they're in joy,
Yeah.
joyous. Wow, Marsha, where have
Yes.
you been?
Yeah.
Yeah, why
It's
didn't you come and see
important,
me
and
last
there's
year?
there's an energetic connection too, and I feel that that's very important. There are people that have come to me, and we were not an energetic match, and they may have been ready to purchase, but if I didn't feel that we were in the right place together, it wasn't gonna work. And so I am very careful when I'm talking with people to ensure that not only are they looking for me, but I'm looking for their connection as well. There's a
100%.
two-way street. I learn as much from my clients on the regular as I hope that I can give to them, through our conversations.
No, 100%. And I think the problem with the industry is that there's been the rabbit hole of people being given support coaches and like big containers where people can get lost, and they don't
Mhm.
get the real world class coaching
Yeah.
experience, which is where sometimes it's worth paying the money to, get the transformations, get the results from people who are actually skilled coaches and things
Yeah.
like this.
Yeah. Well, and someone who is there to help you uncover what you already have. Because I'm not someone who's going to really bestow upon you anything, right? I think people don't even realize the strength, the energy that they hold inside of themselves, and what they need is someone to give them the space to explore that, the safety, the non-judgmental, the ability to talk and just banter about different ideas that they might not have anyone that they can talk about these things with. And it's that type of a space, I think, that is so critical to people making progress in any sort of a change that they're trying to make, whether it be, a job, any sort of a life change. I think it's critical.
Well said. Currently reading a book called 10x is easier than 2x, where we look at the one or two strategies that can really skyrocket growth,
Mhm.
skyrocket transformation in any area, whether that be health, wealth, relationships. There's
Mhm.
always a path that's going to create exponential results.
Yes.
What are you currently reading and what's the takeaway from it?
Oh, wow. So I have been immersed lately in Eckhart Tolle,
Mm.
and I think presence, being present, I think especially I just wrote a blog post about around the holiday season that your presence is the present, is the gift, so to speak. And so I think truly finding your presence, it's something that I need to do on the regular because I have to be supremely present for my clients. That's what they're paying me for, is to be supremely present. And it's something we all have the ability to do. And Eckhart has a beautiful way of talking about it. I've been reading Stillness Speaks, as well as The Power of Now.
Start
I
off
think,
now, yeah.
yes, yes, he's just amazing, and I feel so blessed to have come across his work. Truly, an enlightened soul.
Now, thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Practical, inspiring, and applicable to my life. Coach Marsha focuses on a mindset, not restriction, and it finally feels sustainable. This book gave me the hope and clarity I needed to make real, lasting changes. Now, tell me a little bit about this amazing book that we can get on Amazon, The Secret to Lasting Weight Loss, The Path to Transform Your Mindset and Live Your Healthiest Life. Tell me a little
Yeah.
bit about that book.
Yeah, it was really it was a bit of a love project, and it was a little bit of something I had to get out. It was a learning experience that I had where for the longest time I had really been focused on the outside and changing the outside, but not doing it from a place of being strong inside.
Well,
And it was through this journey that I have taken that I have realized that it's that strength inside that helps you change the exterior. And through that, I was able to write this book that it's a short book. I think probably even more important is the workbook that comes along with it. So if you get the book, you can look. There's a QR code in the book. You get it for free. It's a great opportunity for you to dig in and really do the work that will help you identify what the things are that you need to do to make the changes that you're interested in making. And anywhere in your life too. I mean, this is particularly talking about weight loss, but if you look at it bigger than that, it can help you in so many different ways to access the strength that you need to make the changes real.
brilliant answer.
Thank you.
Really brilliant. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Let me know what the big plan for 2026 is. And we're nearly there.
I
Happy New
know.
Year. People are popping up the party poppers and the champagne. You probably don't drink, do you? You probably don't drink health. Yeah, you
I
probably,
yeah. Yeah, I partake every once in a
yeah,
while, but
once in a while.
yeah. It's not been high on my list of things.
No, fair enough. 26, speak to me.
Yeah, 2026 is gonna be an exciting year. Have this sense of expansion, and um I just have this really positive outlook. And I'm not saying it just because 2026 is coming up. Like there are so many things swirling in my ecosphere right now that just feels really positive,
Hmm.
that I feel really hopeful for the future of everybody. I feel like the vibrations, we talked a little bit about, people's vibrations. I feel the vibrations rising, and it's really a nice breath of fresh air to feel that. It's felt down a lot, I think, in the past, and I'm just feeling really energized and ready to take on 2026.
Yeah, and I think the beautiful thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, that when you are on purpose and you're living your mission,
Mm,
that you can go deeper than someone dabbling.
yes, that
And
is
that,
true.
and there's a lot of dabblers out there, and it's like, hey, if you're locked in and you're aligned, we can go deeper, we can do more, we can scale, we can find new opportunities and things like this where, maybe if we're not aligned, it might be very simple to do something and then quit and then do something and then, rather than sort of kind of going deep.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with dabbling. That's how you find
No, of
things,
course,
right?
yeah.
That's how that's how you realize that something is or isn't right for you. But yeah, I think it's definitely when you do find what is the right thing, it opens up a whole nother world, I think.
What do you mean by it opens up a whole nother world?
Well, it's another level. It's hard to explain with words, I guess. It just it feels different. Having come from corporate America and having done sort of the daily grind, when you come into alignment with what it is you're meant to be doing, the grind falls away.
Mm.
Sure, there's gonna be things that, maybe you don't like doing or whatever. I mean, that's with every whatever, you name it. You could love to paint, but you don't like cleaning your paintbrushes, right? I mean, there's always gonna be something. But I feel like when you are in alignment with your purpose, you just like I said, like, it just falls away. The drudgery falls away, and you wake up with a different energy. You're ready for the day. You look forward to, every meeting, every moment, honestly. Like, there's a different light to
Well,
the day,
well.
if that makes any sense.
No, it does. It's very profound. Are you a poet? Or
I'm not, I don't think.
yeah, no,
Perhaps.
it's something very profound in the way that you deliver your words. I think potentially there's that element of performance poetry that could be
Maybe
yeah,
that's another calling I need to explore.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
100%.
do enjoy writing, so, maybe it comes from that.
No, 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 no. That makes perfect sense. And tell me one piece of advice that, hey, there's a prospect who comes to you. She wants to reverse diabetes, or she's
Mhm.
pre-diabetic. What would the 3-step process be that
Yeah.
might lead
So
to results? I mean, it's probably going to be in your book, but yeah, what's that 3-step process like that's going to lead
yeah.
to results?
I mean, so it is gonna be a little different for every
Every
person,
person, yeah.
and so I think that's what's critical about when you have a coach versus taking an online program or something like that. When you have a coach, I'm able to look at your life, and we are able to pinpoint the critical areas that we need to massage in your life specifically to make your transformation happen. And that's just not going to necessarily happen unless, if online courses are great. I'm certainly not, I used to be a corporate trainer. I am not going to put down any type of online course. They have an absolute place and a purpose. I think if you want to take it to the next level, that's where you go and you have someone who can take what you may have learned in that course and synthesize it to the pieces that are really going to help you. Now, you can try to do that yourself, but I find a lot of people, that's where they struggle. They're like, okay, now I know. What do I do with it? You know, okay, I could change the way I eat, but how do I change the way that I eat? I could change my sleep habits, but what is it that I'm looking to do with my sleep habits? Is how important is hydration? It's all of these pieces, and I have a mandala that I put in my in some of my content that I use, that's part of my whole life blueprint, and that's the way I look at people, is holistically. So to say that there are necessarily 3 steps that are specific and could be across every single person, there aren't. But it is basically to get to know the individual. It is to then identify their key areas that we can work together on, and then it is to provide the support that they need. So those are the 3 things that I would look at right off the top as I start to work with someone who's new to me.
That makes great sense. Yeah, it makes great sense. We're all human.
We are. We're all human. There's a lot that's similar. amongst us, but there's so much that's different. We all have our own story, and every story is important, and I offer people the opportunity to have someone who will listen to their story and then give them an a place to make their story new, to change their story in the way that they want to change their story. That's what I think is exciting, because oftentimes programs are trying to fit you into a box, and we don't fit into a box necessarily, And so if you can work with someone who can see you as the individual that you are and help you in the ways that you need to be helped, it's a whole new ballgame.
Marsha is so wise. I want to be like Marsha when I grow up. Honestly.
Well, after years, I'm here now. I'm not a finished product, so I'm gonna keep working on it.
No, amazing. Amazing. Tell them how they can get in contact with you and who
Yeah.
are you looking for specifically?
Absolutely. Look, I'm looking for anyone who feels the draw to work with someone like myself to improve their health in any different type of way that they want. They can find me at coachmarsha.net. That is my website. And they can email me at mguptill, so Guptill with an M on the front, mguptill at coachmarsha.net. That's me, Coach Marsha.
So, sorry, are you some sort of actress or have you done any voiceover work? Your voice is
I have. Yes, in my corporate America days, I did a ton of voiceover work. And I used to actually run events, and I ran a gajillion meetings, and yeah,
Do you have a
I
podcast? Do you have a podcast?
I don't, but I've considered it. I feel like maybe that's another thing that I need to look at doing.
You have a phenomenal, phenomenal transference of enthusiasm.
Well, thank you. Well, that's kind of you to say. I
No,
appreciate
it's
that.
good. I mean, look, I mean, I'm just calling it as I see it, and you know, I can tell that your clients, they're not shortchanged whatsoever.
No, I hope not. I hope that they would say that they get every bit of the value that they need. So
Thank you. From London to Florida, hey, she leads, she sells with Marsha Guptill. Amazing. Woo!